A fresh trade dispute is brewing between Washington, D.C. and neighboring Canada, after Donald Trump turned a major cross-border project into a new political flashpoint. Donald Trump threatened to block a new US-Canada bridge in a long rant on Truth Social, signaling that infrastructure is now being pulled into the tariff fight. The Gordie Howe International Bridge is expected to connect Windsor, Ontario with Detroit, Michigan, creating a major new trade and transport artery across the border. Trump claimed he would only allow the bridge to open if Canada treats the US with respect, framing the launch as conditional rather than automatic. He then tabled two demands: full compensation and partial US ownership of the bridge, arguing that Washington should get a bigger stake in the asset. Trump alleged Canada is benefiting more from the bridge project than the United States, saying Ottawa gets the upside while America gets nothing. Trump also accused former US President Barack Obama of giving Canada a waiver to get around by American rules, using that claim to argue the project shut out US products. Trump said, and I quote, "As everyone knows, the country of Canada has treated the United States very unfairly for decades. Now, things are turning around for the USA, and fast. But imagine, Canada is building a massive bridge between Ontario and Michigan. They own both the Canada and the United States side and, of course, built it with virtually no US content. President Barack Hussein Obama stupidly gave them a waiver so they could get around the Buy American Act and not use any American products, including our steel. Now, the Canadian government expects me, as President of the United States, to permit them to just take advantage of America. What does the United States of America get? Absolutely nothing." End quote. Trump's rant against Canada also targeted tariffs and retail rules affecting alcohol and dairy, broadening the fight beyond the bridge itself. He alleged Canadian barriers and tariffs on US goods are doing financial harm, arguing Washington is taking losses in an unfair trade relationship. Trump also mocked Canadian Prime Minister Mike Carney over trade talks with China, claiming Beijing would eat Canada alive if Ottawa pivots toward China. Trump said, and I quote, "Ontario won't even put US spirits, beverages, and other alcoholic products on their shelves. They are absolutely prohibited from doing so, and now, on top of everything else, Prime Minister Carney wants to make a deal with China, which will eat Canada alive. We'll just get the leftovers. I don't think so. The first thing China will do is terminate all ice hockey being played in Canada and permanently eliminate the Stanley Cup. The tariffs Canada charges us for our dairy products have, for many years, been unacceptable, putting our farmers at great financial risk. I will not allow this bridge to open until the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them. And also, importantly, Canada treats the United States with the fairness and respect that we deserve. We will start negotiations immediately. With all that we have given them, we should own, perhaps, at least one half of this asset. The revenues generated because of the US market will be astronomical. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Multiple reports said Trump's claim that Canada owns both sides of the bridge and used virtually no US content is incorrect under the project's governing arrangements. The Mike Carney government had also claimed earlier that the $4 billion bridge was fully funded by Canada. CNN reported that Canada is financing the bridge, but that it will be jointly owned by Canada and the US state of Michigan under 2012 agreement. The same report noted the 2012 agreement requires iron and steel used for bridge components to come from either the US or Canada, contradicting the no US materials claim. Canadian officials also said US steel was used on the Michigan side of the bridge, CNN reported, directly disputing Trump's assertion about American products. The bridge is expected to open in 2026 after inspections and testing, so threats to block it could inject uncertainty into a key upcoming trade link. Tensions between Canada and Washington have spiraled in the aftermath of Trump's tariff war, with trade threats now spilling into diplomacy and strategic alignments. Recently, Trump warned Ottawa it could face steep tariffs on Canadian aircraft if Canada inks a deal with China, using market access to deter deeper ties with Beijing. In January 2026, Canadian Prime Minister Mike Carney met China's Xi Jinping to discuss what was described as a new strategic partnership, a move that further irritated Washington. Canada has also moved to ease tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, while Beijing is reportedly considering capping barriers on agricultural products, signaling both sides are exploring trade-offs that could shift Canada's economic balance.